Melania Trump is the worst first lady of modern times. I don't want to be mean, but come on.
Michelle Obama gives a speech, and everyone loves it. It's fantastic. They think she's absolutely great. My wife, Melania, gives the exact same speech. And people get on her case. And I don't get it. I don't know why.
Barack and I were raised with so many of the same values. Like, you work hard for what you want in life.
The values that you work hard for what you want in life.
That your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
That you treat people with dignity and respect.
That you treat people with respect.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them. Because we want our children in this nation to know that the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
Michelle Obama was a better first lady than Melania Trump.
Melania Trump is the worst first lady of modern times. She's just like her husband, making a ton of money by being first lady. You know, selling shit, getting $40 million for a documentary from Jeff Bezos and Amazon. But more importantly, doing nothing to help her adopted country.
This is what Michelle Obama has to teach us about destroying your competition. You let it destroy itself.
Stop what you're doing and go watch Michelle Obama's speech at the opening and dedication of the Obama Presidential Library today. It is beautiful.
I'd rather watch the January 6th riots than watch the Melania documentary. Guess what's trending on Netflix at the moment? Number 8, Becoming by Michelle Obama. And guess who's about to watch it? Moi.
The best first lady that the United States has ever had is clearly Michelle Obama.
Whoever is trying to advise Melania Trump that she can be like Michelle Obama is honestly lying to her. And Trump knows this because every moment Trump steps up and he has something definitely to say about the Obamas, he always have some negative things to pour into it. And the video that I'm going to be showing you still going to be proving that, because we have a group of people. We have this type of people that are thinking, including Melania. Melania is thinking that she could be better than Trump. I mean, she could be better than Michelle Obama. But we all know the truth. If today people are rallying for a new president between Melania Trump and Michelle Obama, the two first ladies, at least they have an history with being first ladies, we all know who Americans know the person that they will run to. And definitely, even white people are looking back and they're saying, so this is the person that is our first lady. You cannot compare the speech that Melania Trump gives and the speech that Michelle Obama gives. They know this very well, and for the longest time, they've always tried to say negative things in regards to what the Obamas are always saying. But there is a mark that the Obamas have left in America. They have left in the hearts of Americans. And the truth, people knows the truth. And the world is getting to see all this because we are facts. You could go check the speeches that Michelle Obama gave, and you can look the speeches that Melania Trump gave. Rather, you can go look the speeches that Trump gave, and at the same time, you can go look the speeches that President Obama gave, and then let's have a chat in regards to this. Brothers and sisters, I'm your host and presenter Agentic Stories, and thank you for always tuning in and watching my videos. So let's get into it. I'll be back.
Stop what you're doing and go watch Michelle Obama's speech at the opening and dedication of the Obama Presidential Library today. It is beautiful. I teared up multiple times. First of all, the way she talks about him in a personal sense and about their relationship, like they're couples goals. Like they're really actually in love. They actually like each other. They're a true partnership. It's so beautiful.
Did y'all see Hillary Clinton laughing her ass off? Watch this.
Winning a peace prize. Keeping us safe from Ebola. Regulating the banks.
Hillary said, Hillary was too tickled by the Nobel Peace Prize line. She said, I know that's fucking right. Rub it in that fat motherfucker's face, because he ain't got no Nobel Peace Prize and he ain't never gonna get one. And he watches his back. I want to make sure he hear me cackling in the background to know that we laughing at his motherfucking ass. Hillary was like, that's a good one. That's a good one there. It's so good to see civilized people come together and laugh at uncivilized motherfuckers.
Barack and Michelle Obama's relationship and love for one another is just top tier relationship goals right there. I hope this kind of love finds me someday.
Barack, you gotta look at me. You told me all those years ago that you couldn't promise me the world, but you could promise me an interesting life. And of course, you outdid yourself and managed to give me both. I know it hasn't always been easy, but there hasn't been a single second through this experience that standing by your side hasn't left me in awe. You were unflappable at every turn, always focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once, lashed out in frustration, lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud. You were doing the people's work, rescuing our economy, expanding health care, ending a war, ordering the Bin Laden raid, saving an auto industry, winning a peace prize. Keeping us safe from Ebola, regulating the banks, standing up for marriage equality, listening to science, and comforting an entire nation in the face of unspeakable tragedies. And you did it all with such grace and class and cool that you made the hardest job in the world look like a walk in this beautiful park.
The funniest thing, though, is the fact that you can hear the cackle in Michelle. Michelle said, oh my God.
So Michelle Obama just pulled off something that is absolutely insane and something that politicians rarely manage to do. She gave a speech that everyone knew was about Donald Trump without ever mentioning Donald Trump. At the opening of Obama Presidential Center in Chicago, she talked about democracy, public service, civic responsibility, community, leadership, and the idea that America belongs to all of us, not just one person. Shocking, right? And that is where it all got funny, because she didn't spend the speech attacking Donald Trump like he would, right? She simply described what leadership is supposed to look like. you know, serving the public instead of yourself, building institutions instead of attacking them, bringing people together instead of trying to divide them, focusing on citizens instead of creating a personality cult. The irony is that nobody had to connect the dots for her. The audience just did it automatically. Imagine being roasted so thoroughly that your name never even comes up, but everyone knows it's about you. That's political psychology 101. The most effective criticism isn't always telling people who the villain is. It's reminding the people what normal looks like and letting their brains do the rest. And let's be honest, the contrast was just hard to miss. Because on one side, a presidential center dedicated to civic engagement, volunteerism, education, and the idea that democracy belongs to everyone. And on the other, a political movement built around one man, whose supporters literally wear his name on hats, shirts, flags, I don't know, coffee mugs, and every surface possible. And buy Trump watches, Trump sneakers, Trump, 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 Trump. At that point, Michelle Obama, she didn't even need to make an argument. The reality itself did it for her. And the truly devastating part, in my opinion, she never said Donald Trump. She never had to. Yet somehow everyone knew that's exactly who she's talking about. That's when you know your speech landed hard. Or when she mentioned the Nobel Peace Prize. That's just a nail in that coffin. Mic drop.
Let me tell you something. When Michelle Obama gave her speech to her man, okay, because at that point, that speech was directly to her man. When she heaped that praise and used her words to build and honor her man, talking about his accomplishments, talking about his character, his moral fiber, his fortitude, his work ethic, talked about the pressure, the immense pressure he was under day in and day out as a black man holding the highest office, as the first to do what he was doing. Talked about him getting that Nobel Peace Prize. Hillary had a good little chuckle behind that. Sidebar, the cameraman was messy because she talked about how he was busy trying to fix the economy and how to end a war. They gonna put the camera on George W. Because we all know that he was trying to clean up that 8-year mess when he got elected. It was no easy feat, okay? But you know what? Not for nothing, George W., he was sitting there, he was taking it in stride, baby, like a normal person would. Sat there and took it in stride. But I said the cameraman is messy. Why y'all put the camera on him when she started talking about the economy and the war? But, it was so beautiful to hear her speaking about Barack in that way, speaking about her husband in that way. You could just see the genuine love, the genuine adoration. Not like y'all's current first lady, who we know with every fiber in our being, she can't take her husband. She want no parts. That lady wants no parts. She said straight up, I don't know who y'all think staying in that White House, but I'm not. It's just such a contrast. Such a contrast. We need that normalcy back so bad. I mean, we need it back so bad, y'all. I'm telling you. It was a really beautiful and poignant moment to see that.
I'm teary-eyed because I just watched the speech that Michelle Obama gave honoring Barack Obama, and I wanted to stitch it or duet it, but they turned that off I saw it on MS Now's TikTok. She's just incredible. And I haven't had a chance to talk about how disgusted I was at knowing that UFC fighter said what he said about Michelle Obama out of left field. Like, why would he all of a sudden in the year 2026 somebody decide to make that slur against Michelle Obama? It makes somebody look like the lowest form of scum. But she's unshakable. Go watch her tribute to her husband. It was beautiful.
Michelle Obama gave an absolutely beautiful and moving speech yesterday at the Obama Presidential Library opening. Now, a lot has been made about that. I absolutely loved the whole thing, but I also loved the dig she put in it at the current president. Things like a peace prize, which led to Hillary laughing, cackling with her whole soul, and, well, just absolutely showing how messy she's gotten.
Winning a peace prize. Keeping us safe from Ebola, regulating the banks, standing up for...
You can hear her just let go. And there were plenty of times throughout that whole speech where Michelle made digs at Donald Trump, and rightly so. He lashes out like a toddler. He's no longer keeping us safe. He's doing things for himself, and he's not holding himself to the standard that he attempts to criticize other people for actually doing better. The Obamas are better than the Trump family in every conceivable way, and yesterday continued to prove that.
Can't be the only one that'll go back and listen to Obama's speeches, or sometimes I go and I watch the events that they hosted at the White House. Like, they have this one event that they hosted where they did like a Latin night, and it was all the Latin artists. When J-Lo and Mark Anthony were married, I think Gloria Estefan came out, like all these like Latin artists came out, and Obama and Michelle Obama, they're just, you know, vibing. And then they had a soul night. I think it was Aretha Franklin, Earth, Wind and Fire. I don't know. It was just a bunch of people, but I like to go back and watch them because, like, it just makes me happy. I miss those times. Like, I miss when he was in office, and it just felt like we had hope. Like, we had something to strive for, and things were going to get better, and things weren't perfect, but they were on their way towards being perfect, or at least being equitable. And I don't know if you can tell, I've just been like crying and like sad all day about what's been going on. And I don't know if maybe that'll help somebody. Y'all can go back and watch Obama speeches or Obama stuff on YouTube, because that just makes me happy sometimes.
All right, so it was hard not to notice the juxtaposition between the Obamas and all the former presidents who had the big ceremony for the Obamas. I don't know if it's a library or whatever they were opening there in Chicago, but it was just such a beautiful ceremony with nothing but class personified of all the former presidents and the first ladies coming together, and you just saw what real strength looks like, right, from Obama. And as young men, when you look to who do I want to emulate, and you have a choice between Donald Trump and Barack Obama, there is no choice. I mean, it's clear that you would want to take on the qualities and the traits of a Barack Obama. Poised, calm, humble, stoic, and an effective leader who presided over a better economy, who brought, you know, medical insurance to people who didn't have it or couldn't afford it before. I mean, you look at those presidents and you go down the line. I mean, I hate to say it, but the Democratic presidents brought infrastructure bills, health care bills, Social Security, bills, everything that benefits middle class and average working families were laws passed by the Democratic presidents. And then you look at the one Republican president that was up there, George Bush, who got us into 2 wars that we couldn't even get ourselves out of. So all I'm saying is, young men, emulate quiet strength, poise. All those guys like Trump that are yapping and talking and complaining and whining and arguing, that's just a massive, deep insecurity. They feel weak, so they try to project strength. But people who really have strength and really know who they are, like somebody like Barack Obama, and Michelle goes up there and said this guy never had a lost his temper. This guy never lost his cool. In the middle of some of the biggest challenges in his presidency, he kept calm and he kept cool. And that's the sign of a real man. You can throw all the fights you want on the front lawn of the White House to project that you're a tough guy. But Barack Obama, like De Niro said in A Bronx Tale, the working man's the tough guy, okay? The guy who gets up every day, goes to work, does the right thing. That's the tough guy, not these wannabe tough guys. Damn.
I think the goal is really to be the kind of man where your wife can speak about you in the same way that Michele just spoke about Barack. Not saying, oh, try and be like Barack Obama and this and that, blah, blah. No, but become, you might not be it now, and that's fine. Become the kind of man where your wife can say proudly and honestly and speak about you in a way that is similar or with such high praise, or where your kids can speak about you with honor and such high praise. Like you're that level, you've not even just that you're rich, but your character is just so incredible. The things that you are trying or have accomplished are so incredible. The person that you are is just so incredible that your wife can look at you and look to a million people and say, this is the kind of person he is, and say that unwaveringly. And everybody in the crowd is like, true.
No, you were too busy rescuing our economy, expanding health care, ending a war, winning a peace prize.
Did you hear that, Barack? Donald Trump is such a peace prize-winning loser. Good one, Michele. You know who won't be plagiarizing your speech this time? Melania.
President Obama and Hillary Clinton had some huge laughs at the expense of Donald Trump today, and it was truly satisfying.
From Ebola, regulating the banks.
Thousands of people gathered in Jackson Park on the south side of Chicago to celebrate the grand opening of the Obama Presidential Center. Every living president was in attendance, except for the hugely unpopular and uninvited Tangerine Tyrant. During a powerful speech by Michelle Obama, she listed her husband's many achievements, including receiving the Nobel Peace Prize. That's when Obama and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton could not hold back. Watch this.
Expanding health care, ending a war, ordering the bin Laden raid, saving an auto industry, winning a peace prize. Keeping us safe from Ebola.
Did you hear Hillary's unmistakable laugh? I did. It's a running joke that Trump covets the Peace Prize so much because Obama has one. And he just can't understand why deploying the military against his own cities and bombing Venezuela and Iran doesn't qualify him for one. If you were glad to see President Obama and Secretary Clinton share a hilarious moment at Trump's expense today, give me a follow because we are definitely on the same page.
Michelle Obama completely destroyed Donald Trump in a speech earlier at the opening session of the new Obama Library. You guys have to see this. She rarely gives speeches. Her and her husband, they speak up when important, but they don't speak up too often. So it's very rare to see one of the Obamas giving a speech. I want you guys to see this. Credits to Aaron Parnas. I'm going to be pulling this from a video he had posted. That was what I would argue would be a direct attack on Donald Trump, starting off by saying Obama was not everything that Trump is, losing his temper, and he actually won a peace prize. Unlike Trump never won a peace prize and is enraged by that fact and makes sure to let us know every day by accusing Obama of something new. So that's great. We love it.
Michelle Obama just threw the ultimate shade at Donald Trump and called him out for never winning a Nobel Peace Prize, unlike her husband. And she said a lot of other things about him too. This was awesome.
You were unflappable at every turn.
She's talking about
Always
her husband.
focused, always calm, always looking at the long view. How absurd it is to even imagine that you might have buckled under the pressure even once.
Trump did.
Lashed out in frustration.
Trump does.
Lost your temper. How absurd it is to imagine that you might have done anything but make our family and this entire country proud.
Wait for it. Here it comes.
You were doing the people's work, rescuing our economy, expanding health care, ending a war, ordering the bin Laden raid, saving an auto industry, winning a peace prize.
Perfect. I love how she just bounces back after getting insulted in the most vulgar way possible at the UFC White House event, comes out unfazed, and drops a speech like this. Man, I miss her. I miss the Obamas.
You have made me a better person and have given us all an example that we should strive to emulate. And I hope you know, there is truly no higher calling.
Now be honest, could you ever imagine Melania Trump making Donald Trump tear up like that watching?
Hello brothers and sisters, welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that you are doing great. From wherever you're watching this video from, as you know, I'm your host and presenter Generic Stories. Don't you ever dare try compare yourself with Michelle Obama. The accomplishments that she has made in the lives of different people really speaks a lot, really speaks majority of the things that people, that America is yearning, that America wants to know, that the world really wants to know. That's what they are doing. That's what they have done. And they have left a mark in the hearts of Americans. And this is something that you cannot just wake up in the morning and take away. Go look at the speech that Michelle Obama gave at the Obama's Presidential Center. So touching, so kind, so eloquent, so accomplished. And what a masterpiece of a speech that she gave. And then the next morning, Trump wakes up in the morning and they try to put some dirt on the speeches that Melania Trump gave about President Obama. I mean, about Michelle Obama gave about President Obama. It really doesn't make sense. And you can see that all of this, the argument is always based on racism, hate, and jealousy. You can imagine our president being racist by using monkey memes. This is something that we haven't forgotten. That was so much embarrassment of a president doing that to the previous president that almost all Americans feared and laughed at the same time. President Obama said something and he could do it. I mean, look at all these diplomatic relationships that he had with the Americas. It really shows you that he is a man of his words. When he says something, he's gonna be doing it. So, Melania Trump, or Trump yourself, don't you ever try compare yourself with President Obama, because you still have a lot to learn. You still have a lot to go through for you to understand what it really takes. Do you know what it really takes to have the hearts of Americans? Do you really know what it really takes? I don't think you really know what it takes. The grit that black people have, the grit that President Obama had, the work that President Obama had to put in, the work that Melania Trump had to put in to be who they are, you really don't know. Merely being a black person and being in the same level, the presidential level, so you think it's just a walk in the path. So brothers and sisters, I really don't know what you'll think about this, but I just want to know your opinion. in regards to this. And for those who are watching me for the first time, I'm asking you to please subscribe to the channel, join the membership, and really get to see what I can offer you. For those who are always coming back, watching my videos, man, I'm really grateful for all the support that you all give me. And I'm praying and I'm all rooting for you all to be safe, to stay safe, because black people are winning. And all these things, we are getting to see them. Black people are winning, and the world is just starting to realize the importance of black people. Or rather, what they just had missed. They are getting to realize that. So brothers and sisters, please let me know. Let me know what you all think about this, right? As you know, I'm your host and presenter Genetic Stories, but until then, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.